right, maybe we should talk to someone who spoke to Bernie yesterday. Joining us now from Des Moines, Iowa, MSNBC correspondent Vaughn Hilliard. Vaughn, fill us in.
Vaughn, did he yell? Did he go, Vaughn, I'm going to win this thing? What did he do?
He sounds pretty much like the same man that's been around the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Look, the rallies that he had in Davenport yesterday, Iowa City yesterday, is the exact same Bernie Sanders that I heard on the stump back in 2018 when he was out here campaigning for congressional Democrats, back when he was 2015 doing this the first go around. But this is the first time there was the Des Moines Register CNN poll that was released late Friday night, which is kind of the gold standard poll here in Iowa. And this is the first time that he has sat atop that poll. And there's one number in particular that I want to point out from that. And that is voters who were asked whether they were extremely enthusiastic about the candidates that they were selecting as their first choice. 49% of folks that said Bernie Sanders was their top choice, they said they were extremely enthusiastic about. Compare that to Pete Buttigieg and Joe Biden. That number was just 26%. I want to play for you my exchange with Bernie Sanders when I asked him about the poll, which you'd be surprised by his answer, but in which he's doing quite well. This is what he said.
Polls go up and down, but what is important to me is the kind of grassroots support that we have. So polls are great. Some days they're good, some days they're not good. But I think we're going to win here in Iowa because we have an extraordinary grassroots movement. Our goal, unbelievably, this month right here in the state of Iowa is to knock on 500,000 doors. I don't think any campaign in American history has done that. And at the end of the day, TV ads are great, radio ads are great, but human contact is what matters, and we think we have the movement to do that.
And who was with him this weekend here in Iowa on the campaign trail? It was Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, who represents Wayne County, the greater Detroit area, one of the members of the squad. And I bring that up because it goes to the heart of the conversation you guys are having right before the break. If you look up in Michigan, there were 37,000 fewer voters from 2012 to 2016 in the presidential election. And Wayne County is the most diverse, most democratic county in the entire state of Michigan. Michigan went by just 11,000 votes for Donald Trump. So you put the math together, and if Wayne County had turned out at the same levels from as they did in 2012, you could make the case that Hillary Clinton would have won the nomination. So when you're talking about Bernie Sanders and who he's drawing, well, look who was on the campaign trail making the case on his behalf. And the one other point I want to make is go back to 2016 exit polls out of Iowa, out of New Hampshire, and out of Nevada. Pete Buttigieg and Joe Biden have tried to make the appeal to the electorate that they're the individuals that could bring independents over, or those moderates, or those disaffected Republicans. But when you go back to those exit polls and which candidate actually, Bernie Sanders over Hillary Clinton, actually polled independents to come out and take part in the caucus and the primary process, it was Bernie Sanders. 20% of caucus goers last go around identified as independents, and they went by a 69% margin for Bernie Sanders. Over in New Hampshire and over in Nevada, it was 72%, 71% respectively. And that's where this campaign has kind of been frustrated because they believe that their broad base of support has been misunderstood, and they believe that when you're having that conversation about electability, they're the ones best ready to make that case.
Thanks for checking out MSNBC on YouTube, and make sure you subscribe to stay up to date on the day's biggest stories. And you can click on any of the videos around us to watch more from Morning Joe and MSNBC. Thanks so much for watching.